Importantly, the world, the global economy, global trade rules, global political rules, global cultural rules are unequal. Developing countries have less say in global institutions, and also, global markets, and also global culture, and even in global ideas. So it is important that developing countries form groupings to try to change that, to rebalance the world, the markets, make it more fairer, make trade more fairer, make global institutions more equal, like the World Bank, give developing countries much more decision making, and the same with the United Nations.
Economic power, diversity, and de-dollarization. These are BRICS' main game changers in challenging the G7. BRICS recently expanded its lineup, aiming to reshape the global economy. In 2023, BRICS claimed a pivotal moment, surpassing the G7 in collective GDP. Can they sustain this momentum and truly challenge the established economic giants? In 2023, BRICS made headlines by pulling off a significant power move in the global economic arena. Collectively, the BRICS nations edged past the G7 in terms of GDP. Breaking it down, BRICS accounted for 32% of the world's GDP, nudging ahead of the G7 at 30%. This wasn't some stroke of luck. It resulted from well-calculated strategic moves and the expansion of alliances. BRICS wasn't just chilling, they made deliberate choices that paid off. However, not everyone was popping champagne bottles. Skepticism was in the air. Some questioned the sustainability of this economic surge. Was it a one-time spike or a lasting shift? BRICS faced doubters, but the numbers didn't lie. Now, this economic rise of BRICS is more than just a momentary surge in the GDP stats. It's a game changer with the potential to reshape the global economic landscape. It's not merely about numbers on paper, it's about influence, bargaining power, and challenging the existing economic order. The skeptics might argue that this shift is a temporary blip, but the reality is that BRICS has positioned itself as a formidable player on the world stage. We also witnessed as BRICS finally welcomed Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia a few days ago. These new additions brought some serious economic muscle. Saudi Arabia and the UAE, known for their oil riches, added a massive energy punch to the alliance. With its strategic location and economic potential, Iran became a geopolitical player. Egypt and Ethiopia, boasting sizable populations and diverse economies, rounded out the group. Each new member became a piece of the BRICS puzzle, contributing unique strengths and resources. As oil giants, Saudi Arabia and the UAE injected a considerable financial boost. Iran, with its diverse industries, brought economic versatility. Egypt and Ethiopia, with their large populations, provided a workforce and market potential that could significantly impact global dynamics. However, let's not ignore the geopolitical implications of this expansion. The addition of Middle Eastern powerhouses like Saudi Arabia and Iran sparked conversations beyond economics. It brought a new dimension to global economic discussions, aligning Middle Eastern nations with emerging global powers and diversifying their economic partnerships. Now, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. With diverse political stances and alliances among the new and old members, clashes were inevitable. For instance, Iran's political situation could create tensions within the group.
Secondly, what will be happening is the proposal potentially of creating a BRICS common currency, so a currency that will be common to the BRICS countries. And thirdly, the discussion on what to do with BRICS institutions. One critical institution is BRICS Development Bank. How do they increase the presence of their bank, because their bank, the development bank, was set up to rival some of the Western-dominated global developmental institutions.
Dedollarization is also on the agenda for BRICS, marking a strategic move to challenge the overwhelming dominance of the US dollar in global trade. In response to the dollar-centric system, BRICS wants to diversify its financial toolbox. For instance, China has been advocating for the use of the yuan in global transactions. Russia has been exploring alternatives to the US dollar in its trade relationships. The idea is to reduce dependency on the dollar, creating a more multipolar currency landscape. Now, let's talk about risks and benefits. Shifting away from the US dollar isn't a simple task. On the one hand, it challenges the status quo and reduces the influence of a single currency. It's a step towards a more balanced global financial system. However, it comes with risks. The US dollar has been a stable anchor in the international monetary system, and altering this could lead to uncertainties and potential economic turbulence. As BRICS charts this course, convincing market participants to jump on the bandwagon is no cakewalk. The US dollar has been the go-to currency for international trade, and breaking that habit is easier said than done. Market players are accustomed to the dollar's stability and widely accepted nature. Convincing them to embrace BRICS currencies requires building trust, assuring stability, and demonstrating the benefits of this shift. Now, are you wondering how the GDPs stack up between BRICS and the G7 nations? First off, in the BRICS corner, we've got China, India, and others flexing their economic muscles. China boasts a GDP of $19.3 trillion, making up a significant 18% of the global economy. India follows, contributing $3.7 trillion, a 4% share of the world's economic pie. On the G7 side, the heavyweight is the United States, clocking in with a massive GDP of $28.6 trillion, commanding a whopping 25% of the global economy. As a collective force, BRICS holds a 27.94% share of the world's GDP. On the flip side, the G7 nations collectively wield a more substantial 43%. So, BRICS falls short by 15.06% compared to the G7, and we're talking about a staggering $16.852 trillion difference. These aren't just numbers on paper, they carry weight in the global economic arena. What does this mean? Well, it highlights the existing economic disparity. While BRICS is a force to be reckoned with, the G7 nations still hold a considerable chunk of the economic pie. This $16.852 trillion difference isn't just about money, it reflects the ongoing power dynamics and influence in global finance. BRICS may be making strides, but the G7 still stands as a formidable economic powerhouse. But before we move on, we just want to thank you for watching this far. Moreover, BRICS has set $5 billion in exports for 2024. Firstly, hitting the $5 billion mark is not just a number game, it holds significant economic weight. It's a clear signal that BRICS is not merely a bystander in the global trade dynamics, but is actively shaping them. This goal is not just about exports, it's about challenging the existing order and making a mark on the international trade stage. Now, what does this mean for global trade dynamics? Well, a $5 billion export target from BRICS is a game changer. It introduces a formidable player in the export arena, potentially altering the traditional trade flows. Now, let's take a closer look at the economic maneuvers pulled off by BRICS nations, with a spotlight on China's initiatives in 2022 and 2023. China, in particular, spearheaded robust economic strategies, advocating for the use of the yuan in global transactions and challenging traditional economic doctrines. Russia, India, and the UAE weren't on the sidelines either. They played pivotal roles in reshaping the global economic landscape. Russia, with its diverse industries, India, with its strategic position in the market, and the UAE, with its significant role in energy, all contributed to the economic shakeup. This economic narrative goes beyond numbers about geopolitical shifts and forging new alliances within the BRICS framework. The traditional economic doctrines are getting a run for their money as BRICS nations actively challenge established norms. The expansion of BRICS into an 11-member bloc in 2023 is a game changer. It's not just about numbers, it's about geopolitical implications. The inclusion of countries like Iran and Saudi Arabia introduces a potential for conflicts, given their divergent political stances and alliances. The China-Russia-Iran axis within BRICS adds another layer to this dynamic. Its impact on global consensus building is significant, potentially steering the group towards more anti-Western positions. But if we gaze into the crystal ball of global economic relations, what potential outcomes and scenarios emerge? Can BRICS really mount a successful challenge, perhaps even surpass the G7 in the long run? Let's crunch the numbers. BRICS GDP surpassed the G7's in 2023, marking a pivotal shift. With a collective 32% of the world's GDP, it's not just a numerical triumph, but a sign of changing tides. But can this momentum be sustained? The possibilities of a multipolar financial world are on the horizon. If BRICS continues, we might see reduced US leverage in international finance and trade. It's a bold strategy that could reshape global economic relations or increase fragmentation and rivalry. The dynamics are shifting, and BRICS is at the forefront. How will this impact your view of the global economic stage? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And that's it. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons down below. Additionally, if you want to know more about BRICS and its massive goals, just click this video right here. Thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for more exciting content in the future.